What can you? There's been so much you've done with Chess Magazine. Can you think of some of the highlights?
Yeah, when you do a chess magazine, it's what you put into it. The more you put into it, the better it is. And you have restraints on time. You've got deadlines. So some issues are more routine than others. But if I had the time and that, you could do wonderful things. You could do wonderful things with pictures, layout. But I think the best times of the magazine were the interviews, conducted by a young lady called Sarah Hurst. These were superb because the interviews were of lots of English players, behind the scenes people that you don't hear about, and they keep the machinery of chess going in the country. So I think that was one of the highlights. The interviews took a lot of care, and there was a love for the job, but I think the job is a technical job. That didn't interest me so much, processing games and analysis and all that, but you've got to do these things. But I think the big enemy of a magazine's time. You want to do things, you just haven't got the time. You've got to bring the magazine out every month, and there's a lot more I could have done, but that's how it is. You've got other things in life as well. I did the job. I'm proud of what I've done anyway. I kept it at a high standard, I believe. So.
The cartoons and the photos were also a highlight of it.
Yeah, we had a good photographer, Mark Huber, and he would travel everywhere, and we did go places all over the place, and he took a lot of care in every picture. He didn't just send in the first picture he took. He looked at them very carefully and whatnot. It was wonderful to see that. And the cartoons by Diaz, especially in Holland, was just magnificent. I think the fellow was a genius, and he just does it part-time because he can't make a living out of it. I think he works in insurance or something, but an absolute genius. He used very few lines when he drew a picture of somebody, very few lines, and he got the character right on, and he was always very funny, and he sent a message in the cartoons. They weren't just drawings. They either related to a specific incident or they carried some characteristic of that person very prominently. But yeah, there's a lot of things. I think I improved technically with the magazine over the years, with the layout, because I did everything really. And but the creative side, I think you can't order it to measure. You can't just snap your fingers and say, I want a wonderful interview. You have to use the material that you've got. You don't always get the material. So.
Well, you like the historical and the details, but you also kind of like the tabloid stuff.
Oh, I love the headlines, yeah. I mean, they got me into trouble sometimes. When the PCA come in, for example, it was very controversial, and there was conflict and that, and I had a headline, give PCA a chance, with the letters filled in, and I got, you shouldn't be supporting this organisation. I think sometimes it got the better of me. I was gimmicks, but headlines are very important. Yeah, I think I got that. I heard that Mr. Winter, the famous, very severe historian, loves headlines too, but he doesn't do them himself. He loves reading The Sun and all that. So he's not quite as severe as he might sound, I think. But yeah, I love the tabloid. The tabloid journalism is very good. Yeah, I introduced a bit of that. Maybe I started some things, something new.
But also with such a big male readership, you also like the pictures of women playing.
Yeah, I published a few women, got into trouble with that as well at times,
Weren't there some times when you had to touch up some of the male faces with too much acne or anything like that? I think I remember one.
Yeah, a bit more than that sometimes, yeah, teeth as well, they had to be done. I fixed all those sort of things, yeah. I tried to make people as glamorous as they could, yeah, I did that. I didn't put anybody down. I didn't put any devil's horns on or anything like that. I always did nice things.
Do you think there's still going to be demand for chess magazines, monthly chess magazines like that, or is it just all on the internet?
Well, I think that the way it's going, it's definitely on the internet, but people need the paper, I think, at the moment. You've got to have the pages to turn, I really believe that. But I think there is a shift to it from the younger generation want the internet and that. And I notice Kingpin is going on that. I think there's a trend, but it's failed before in earlier times. Inside Chess with Yasser Serouan, discontinued his paper magazine and then went internet, and it didn't last too long. I don't think, I'm not up to date on it, but it was never the same. It's, I don't know, some people, like we see today in Kindle, there's a backlash. Some people are fed up with Kindle, they want to go back to paper. So I'm not sure about that question. I think there'll always be a hardcore readership for the paper versions, and it's much nicer. But I was one of those people that tried to make the magazine look nice. I wanted the pages to look nice and everything, and I don't think they're doing that now. From what I've seen, they just bung it out in a set format. But it takes time, and people are not willing to put the time into these invisible things. People are not consciously aware of them, but if you make a magazine look nice, people feel it without realising it. This is nice.
Well, you got a lot of inspiration from previous chess editors as well, and BCM editors. I mean, in general, editors, journalists, chess journalists of the past, Harry Gollenbeck or others.
Yeah. I always remember something Gollenbeck told me, that he could imitate somebody's style journalistically. There was a story about Alekin's games, and the manuscript didn't arrive from Buenos Aires or something, and he didn't get it, and the book was going to be published, so he wrote the annotations as if they were Alekin's, and it got published. Nobody knew about it, and he got away with that. And I said to him, hey, do you find that difficult? And he said, no, that was easy. He said, what was difficult for me was creating my own style of journal, my own writing style. And I think that's the hard thing. You've got to have an identity. So what I'm getting at is that the style indicates some strength of a journalist, something there. So I think that I look for the people that could write, and they really packed a punch, with the way they wrote. A lot of writers, you can't tell them apart, but if you get a powerful writer with a very distinct style, it's a big bonus. There are these people around, there's no doubt. So if you're asking me who I admired those kind of people with a real identity. But Gollenbeck is historical. I mean, I think Sarah Hurst did a good job. Very nice, affable sort of fellow. And if you've got someone like that, like a friendly editor or a friendly magazine, I think that's a bonus. Yeah, friendly magazine, not a harsh, critical magazine. I like the friendly, humorous approach. That was my style.
Well, you've been writing for New in Chess. What do you think about New in Chess?
Wonderful magazine, wonderful. Comparable only to Kingpin in quality, I would think. No, it's a very fine magazine. I like New in Chess for the reasons I've just said. They do take care. They use pictures nicely, big pages. They went big size 2 or 3 years ago, and it's the care they put into it. And I think they've got a variety. They try to have a well-balanced magazine, from hardcore analysis to the kind of stuff I write. It's quite a range, Yeah, I like New in Chess, but there's other good magazines too. I mean, Europa Czech is very good, very nice, very professionally typeset. Spanish magazine, Hake, is good. So the Russian magazines are good too. Quality is there. No, I respect all editors, because I know how tough it is. I respect all editors. Even Kingpin, when it doesn't come out, I respect enormously.